Welcome everybody to another episode of Anime Academia. With my my man behind the curtain, close call kid. He's the Discord guru and all that enables us to, as we've been doing for the past couple weeks, watch an episode and then talk about it like we do on the X Flicks and with Nick and Paulie. So this one is called the Clan of the Empty Hand, right? The Empty Seven
the Empty
Clan,
Seven Clan.
something like that. Yeah. And apparently, he's the Afro Samurai is going to be fighting a robot or something. So that ought to be interesting. Oh, by the way, like, was it last week? Yeah, I think it was last week. We were talking about the sidekick guy, and I have my theories. I have my theories on him. But I'm not gonna say, at least not on air. I might let you know what I'm thinking, after we're done with it. After we're done today. But yeah, I've got a theory on the sidekick guy. And anyway, welcome 70s rock fan. That 70s rock fan.
Okay.
He's up north of me, somewhere in Canada. I think at one time, because he's a Dallas Stars hockey fan. So at one time, I believe he lived in Texas, and I'm still trying to figure out why he went to Canada. But
Healthcare.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm biased, as somebody who was born in the States. But when I'm like, let me see, Canada, Texas. Canada, Texas. I'm probably gonna go with Texas. But anyway, glad to see him here. I can even send you a panel link if you want to watch this and then comment on it afterwards. They didn't throw you out of Texas. Come on.
I believe it. It seems like something Texas would do.
I don't know. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Anyway, yeah. But no, I mean, if you want me to send you the StreamYard link, and you can talk about it with us afterwards if you want, I'll be more than happy to do that. But anyway, yeah, right. I don't think they have a requirement on.
Yes, there is a minimum
on your weapons. I mean, I don't even buy. I don't even buy the fact that there's like a minimum, because I mean, I'm sure all those people in Austin. I'm sure there's some people in Austin that go, oh no, I don't want one. Because I mean, Austin is like a really liberal city in Texas. I
I think at one point there were some like places in Texas that were offering homeowners guns upon their purchase of a home. So,
well, I mean, that sounds like an incentive to me.
right?
um, seeing it, I mean, I've only got one lonely shotgun right now, so I'd love to have I'd love to have like a Sig Sauer, pistol or something, but yeah, right, legal minimum number. Yeah, no, I know you're just full of bullocks. Um, anyway, um, we're gonna. I'm ready to hit the play button if you are,
I'm
and
always ready.
like I said, Mr. Rock fan, if you want, if you want to come on and chat with us about it afterwards, I'll be more than happy to send you the StreamYard link. But anyway, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Kid here and let him get us going.
Alrighty, here we go. I'm going dark.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. All right, and mute.
Bam.
Hey. Hi.
Hello.
Hello. That was fun.
Oh man. Yeah, man. No, I'm sorry, but like, especially that one line, it just it just made me think of Julius, character, his Julius character from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Like when they're in the one dude's apartment, and he kept on saying what, and he's like,
Oh yeah.
say what again?
You
Say what
motherfucker.
again?
there's nobody on the planet says, "Oh hell no," like Samuel L.
Yeah,
Jackson.
you're right. Oh,
Oh hell no. His perpetual astonishment or whatever in his voice. This can't be happening. That was good.
I think you might be even newer than I am to Afro Samurai.
Oh,
70s.
I'm brand new to it. Yeah, when I
what do you think about it?
I'm loving it. I love the mixture of the high tech, futuristic, and the medieval.
Yeah.
It just adds that sci-fi element to it that makes it otherworldly.
You tuned in last week, right?
I did, yeah, and then I went back and found the first one because I missed the first one.
Okay, so you're all caught up. Okay,
yeah, good. that was fun. It's really well made. Yeah, just concise, fast, doesn't waste any time. The action's great. Love it. Yeah. Funny though. It's funny too.
Which that's one of my favorite aspects about it too. Is it's like, he's walking around, in his, I don't know, for lack of a better term, his gi. I don't know if that's technically a gi or not, but anyway, it's, he's walking around dressed up, like a samurai or like a ronin, and carrying a katana, and like he's in feudal Japan.
Yep.
But yet, everybody talks modern. They've got modern looking
they got cell phones and all sorts,
whatever, and guns and freaking Star Wars binoculars and that's what I call them, because that's just what makes me think of is
yeah, you're right, that's exactly what it looks like.
Binoculars that Luke, when Luke was looking for R2D2,
yeah. But, it's cool, and
it's that mix. Yeah.
So what I was trying to figure out though was that the monks built this Afro droid and spent millions of man hours and presumably large amounts of cash or whatever, when they could just as easily as blown up the bridge to get rid of Afro Samurai on the way over. They could have just gone for the blowing up the bridge option first. I would have spoiled the show, of course, but
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, the thing is, they tried blowing him up last episode.
That's true. He seemed to be able to ascend to great heights and depths without any problem.
It didn't work the first time.
But,
I
don't know if there's any. I don't know if there's any hard and fast rules on just like blowing somebody up, but I think
more explosives.
I think a big part of it is actually fighting someone for it, and winning, winning the bandana in hand to hand, or
for sure,
one-on-one combat, whatever you want to say.
I think there was an existential question as well in my mind, that if the droid was built to predict Afro Samurai's moves, then couldn't he have predicted him being unpredictable? I was thinking,
they didn't type in that memory.
I know, it's going too far, I guess. The machine isn't that good. Programming couldn't be that good, but I thought they could predict him being unpredictable.
Right? Yeah.
But it was a worthy fight, a great fight. I thought, how many weapons has this thing got on him?
Right. Yeah, I
then
know. Well, like when we saw him, slice him, like slice him right down his freaking face, right?
Yeah.
And you saw the blood and stuff coming out. I'm like, okay, I know there's supposed to be like a robot involved, and maybe it's like maybe it's like a Terminator, and
Yeah.
it's got the flesh and blood on the outside, but but they didn't give him time for like his face to fall off or whatever. They just old number 6 got too he got too antsy and blew up the bridge.
Yep.
And but then we got to see him come back in once Afro had gotten across to the building or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
another touch I enjoyed was the number of different danger warnings he had on his display. There wasn't just one, there was like 20 different ones. Which I thought was hilarious. That the programmers would say, "Well, we'll give him a different one here, and another one here, and another one here," and some of them were like, "You're fucked."
Right.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if he would have said Will Robinson, but they probably didn't have permission for that.
Yeah, danger, Will Robinson. Yeah, that was good. It was a very well crafted. Call it a character. I suppose it is a character, a clone or a droid, but very well crafted.
Yeah.
I thought.
Well, here's one thing I thought of. It's like, say they had accomplished their goal, and the robot killed Afro. Is it did they program it to just automatically give the number 2 headband to brother number 1? Or what, because I mean
that would have been an interesting thing to think about.
It's because I could just maybe it's just me, but I could just envision, like, if that would have happened, right, if the robot would have killed Afro and it was programmed to give the headband to brother number 1, because I'm assuming that their numbers correlate with their their standing in the clan. I would think.
Well, we assume that, yeah.
Yeah, so like brother number 1 is the most badass brother out of the 7, And,
it's like the prisoner. If somebody dies, they get replaced, or someone's removed, they get the number. Somebody else gets the number. I guess they get promoted.
But I could just envision, though, that because I mean, like they've said before, if you got the number 2 headband on, you can challenge number 1, but everybody else on the planet can challenge you. So it's like, even if the robot would have won and handed the bandana off to brother number 1, then I could any of the rest of the brothers, I could just envision them challenging him, and it just like they would have
So if you think about it, being number 2 is the most tenuous position because everybody can challenge you, including from the number 1 above. So you're in the least secure position being number 2.
Yep.
Everyone's going to want to get you.
Mm-hmm. Which they said as much in the last episode, I do believe.
Yeah. That's right. It's not the finest position to be in.
Right.
Especially if you've got Afro Samurai after you too, of course.
Yeah.
He disposed of 6, 5, and 4 pretty swiftly, though, I thought.
Yeah.
There wasn't much mucking about there,
So what do you I was talking to the kid here before, about the sidekick, right? The loudmouth sidekick. And it's like I'm like, okay, in the credits or whatever, Afro Samurai is, it has Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Yeah.
But yet it's the sidekick, the loudmouth sidekick, who sounds like Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, he does.
And I've got a theory about the sidekick, but I don't know if I want to say what it is,
well, I have
at
one
least on
too.
air.
Yeah, I had some ideas about him too, because he maybe isn't what he appears to be, or maybe
Right.
he hasn't even appeared to anybody else but us. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, he is a ninja.
Yeah.
So
It's almost I don't know if I almost felt like he was kind of like an alter ego to Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
Like he's part of him.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and say it.
Yeah.
I've got suspicions. I've got suspicions that the loudmouth sidekick is like his imaginary friend, or just like a a voice in his head or whatever, to.
Well, it's himself talking. It's all. I think you're right. I mean, that's what I'm thinking. He's an alter ego. He's like another. He's like his conscience or something.
Yeah.
We can see him. He can see him, but nobody else could.
Like
necessarily.
somebody, because I mean, he was what? How do you know how old he was supposed to have been when he saw his dad killed right in front of him? Like 10-ish?
Yeah.
Like 10 to 12 maybe?
He seemed like that. Yeah, I don't recall exactly, but that's what he seemed like.
Right. Because that's what I would assume. He looked like he was about, say 10 to 12 or maybe even like 9, but still, not too many years away from, breaking into teenage years.
Yeah.
But, I would, you've heard of things like that, happening, when, for somebody who, went through something traumatic like that as a kid, they like develop, this imaginary friend that helps them, deal with something like that. And I mean, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's what I would have thought too. And I mean, it's so obviously Samuel L. Jackson's voice.
Right.
So, unless, why would they hire someone to impersonate him when they've got the real guy?
Yeah. But because I mean, he, Afro doesn't say he's definitely a man of few words, right? But I can. I can see, I can see Samuel being able to, quote unquote, speak normally for Afro, and then, be more the, what's the word I'm looking for? Boisterous or whatever, caricature.
Yeah.
Of himself that, that we're seeing in this sidekick guy,
Yeah, I think you're onto something.
But,
indeed.
But
yes,
our veteran here, he's like, what are your thoughts or whatever on this episode?
Well, this is one of actually like my favorite episodes in all of the 5. I mean, maybe number 2 and number 1 spot. Speaking of rankings, only because like it kind of throws you off, because the story is still the same. It's kind of a hero's journey, but for us, Afro isn't really our typical hero, and so he in any hero's journey, they have this battle within themselves, this kind of imbalance that they have to conquer. But in this case, it's a literal representation of battling himself. to overcome himself. So it's really cool to see that. I think with the way the whole setting is and the era and our wondering about where and when they are, I think him fighting a super android of himself was just like the perfect way to execute that.
And this is like a total. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but this is like seemed like a total, like, just sit down with your popcorn or whatever, your snacks, and just hit play on this episode. What do you think?
Pretty much,
absolutely, yeah. There was a lot of action. It moved along pretty fast, which was great. Yeah, enjoyed that very much. Thank you for introducing me to this show.
Yeah, man.
It's fun. Yeah, it's a good one.
And we were doing, like longer, movies like the Inuyasha movies and stuff before this. But we were just talking about it. I didn't, I didn't suggest doing like the watch party thing here until we started doing Afro, and I'm kind of bummed it's only like 5 episodes. Maybe I'll have to
5 episodes in a movie.
Yeah. Well,
there's a movie, isn't there?
We can. Well, I mean, we can do the movie too, but I'm gonna have to get with you and maybe have you like throw out ideas or whatever, like have you throw down one that you'd like us to watch after we're done with this, but
Close Call or me, because I'm not a big anime man.
No, Close Call.
Close Call, yeah.
I did get because the RZA does the soundtrack to this one. It actually made me want to watch The Man with the Iron Fists.
Ooh, so yes.
I watched that, I think, last week right after we finished our stream, and it's pretty much the same vibes. I mean, it's not as awesome as Afro Samurai, but you definitely feel like the RZA is definitely into this kind of stuff, like Asian tradition, whether it be China or Japan, and kind of the underdog, the foreigner, kind of coming up and conquering the greater powers around him. But as far as anime, the only other one next I would probably suggest would be Outlaw Star. That one's, I think it's maybe 24 or 25 episodes. But it's one season, so could be a good one.
Are the episodes like 25 minutes or?
That's a good question.
You could do two at once. Yeah, Man with the Iron Fists, I enjoyed that. I do like the Westerner in Japan type vibe, like Shogun. Like Shogun, for instance. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I should have done this for Cowboy Bebop. But
do it again then.
I think that would take it a little longer. Sometimes there were some parts in there where I would just fall asleep, and I would literally have to like rewind and go back to it, because it's Cowboy Bebop is very. I mean, it's not action packed, but the setting, the music, the situations, like this wasn't like your action packed samurai flick. This was like a Western where we're standing for 2 hours for the clock to strike 12 and somebody to shoot. Great story, but I did not have the mental capacity to not fall asleep between those pauses.
Well, the way that
Kurosawa thing,
the way that it
building
ended,
up
though. But I wasn't too thrilled with the way Cowboy Bebop ended. But Chad was saying that they had a tendency to end that, like a lot of animes had a tendency to end that way back when that one was made,
Yeah.
and, and I'm like, but anywho,
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Close Call. Sometimes they just drag the you think they're building up tension, but they're really just dragging it out. And you're saying, "Come on, just get on with the fight. Get on, shoot.
Somebody
Shoot
shoot!
somebody."
Come on!
Like the good, the bad, and the ugly when they're all standing in the ring at the end for like 15 minutes, look at each other.
Yeah.
Clint and Lee Van Cleef and Eli Wallach. You say, "Just somebody shoot, will you? Somebody draw your gun and get on with it."
Get off the stage!
I mean, with Bebop, a lot of it was, you know, it was just the banter between all of them, you know, and just how they were all, they were just so all, you know, snarky with each other, you know. It's like,
Yeah.
But that, you know, the kid, boy, I mean, she cracked me up. But,
Yeah, but anyway, that was
a girl named Ed, you know.
Yeah. Hey, that's the way it is nowadays. They're all swapping their names, and swapping their genders, and.
But well, you know, have you seen that one at all, Cowboy Bebop?
I've not seen it. No. I've heard about it. I see a lot of people wearing T-shirts with it on it.
25 minutes.
25. So you could do two shows, two episodes a show.
Yeah.
It's a shame this is only 5 episodes because it's really good.
Yeah.
How many episodes is it?
Thinking they could 10 would be nice.
Which one you talking about? Close.
Outlaw Star.
Oh, okay. And what's that about?
This one is like, there's space pirates, there's outlaws, and then there's the Galaxy Police. Those are like, it's a space kind of cowboy kind of situation.
I'm looking at it now. Yeah.
And there's also fighting mechs. I mean, they're the ships that can fight each other, which is
space opera, space western.
Yeah, space westerns kind of.
But set in a
part of it sounds
Japanese
like
universe.
26 episodes.
Yeah, made in 1998.
Yeah,
that might be kind of neat. Yeah, I mean, I like the space opera part of it. That's my kind of thing.
There's a lot of funny moments. There's some serious moments, but I think the funny moments kind of outweigh the serious moments. So it's really fun. The characters are hilarious. They're badass.
It's either using the Motley Crue inheriting a ship.
Yep.
Thing like you get in Firefly or some, you know, lots of other shows where, hey, we've just stumbled across this wonderful ship that nobody seems to own. That's what's that Rocinante and that show that has just escaped my mind because I'm old. The one that's on Amazon.
But Firefly was one of the two good things that Whedon did.
Yes, yeah. Before
Firefly and Buffy, you know.
I try when I watch Firefly again now.
Other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, I try not to think of Joss Whedon when I watch Firefly now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the inheriting the ship thing, I like that. You get that in a lot of movies and shows in the past. You know, a group stumbles across this mysterious, wonderful ship. So then they can do lots of things with it. That's good. We should. Yeah, I think that would be a good choice. But hey, it's your show, guys. I'm just here for the fun, for the shits and giggles.
I mean, once we get done with this, I'd be down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 2 more of these though, and it's. I'm intrigued. I want to know where it's going. You know, and who is number 1?
Well, I mean, the guy that killed his dad, as far as I know, the guy that killed his dad is still number 1.
He's still number 1. Okay.
And I mean, as far as I could tell,
yeah.
And he's like, you know, he's that, you know, Wild West gunslinger looking dude. You know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you got to get to him Afro's going to get to him eventually. So
But right on.
with only 2 episodes, it ain't going to take long.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's the
well,
big
and that-
hand. The big hand sticking up.
Yeah. That's
Cool.
what I'm wondering though is, because apparently, there's a movie. So did they not wrap it up in the episodes?
They did. They put a nice little bow on it, but I think there was still some loose ends, I want to say. I think they leave it off with a loose end, and then they, just because they wanted it to be open ended. I think it really ended good that way. But the movies, you know how I told you about Inuyasha when we watched the movies there. It's kind of the same way with that, where it's like, if you're watching it, you don't feel like you miss much, but you feel like there's a story behind the things that he's doing or the way that he feels or the people that he sees. And so that's basically what the movie is. They kind of do the same thing with the other animes, where here's another story about what happened. Some continuation from what happened in the episodes, but also a completely different story, but you'll see familiar faces.
I don't know. Well, I for the people who just came in, you missed a good episode of a really good anime. But we've been doing this. We've been doing this every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific. So unless something comes up, we'll be doing episode 4 of Afro Samurai at the same time next Saturday, 3 p.m. Pacific. And real quick, while I'm thinking of it,
so the movie Afro Samurai Resurrection, yeah, it doesn't appear to, it's a sequel, or a follow-on, but it implies that they do wrap up things in this show too for this story. So
here is the link to Close Call Kids YouTube channel. If you feel so inclined, click on it and hit his subscribe button and the whole dingy bell button and all that good stuff, and so we can maybe encourage him to give us more YouTube content.
More content. Come on, Close Call.
I know. Do it. I know he's liking that. I know he's liking that Facebook vibe or whatever right now. But
yeah. I also fixed my Wii U, so now I have more stuff to make content with.
That sounds like a Scottish sheep. A Wii U.
A Wii
U. I've got a Wii U. She's very nice.
Fast Wii U.
It's lovely.
Oh no, that one's not ready yet. It's just a Wii U.
She's got a frightened look in her face, though. Anyway, gentlemen, I will have to leave you.
Yeah, well, we're gonna wrap it up anyway.
Yeah,
so,
but thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah. Do you have anything to promote?
I'm just getting a new video, the final editing of a new video in my science fiction books series, which I probably get finished tonight late on, and then get it up on YouTube. And this one I'm doing I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this, but it's an author called Philip Jose Farmer, and he made a series of books called River World, and it's about basically everybody in the entire history of the human race is resurrected along the banks of a giant river in a strange planet.
Mm.
And so the scope of it is brilliant, because then he can have any historical character he wants in the book and in the series. So there's lots of real people from history in it. So anyway, I've made a video about the first book in that series called "Do Your Scattered Bodies Go?" So that's almost done. But yes, I mean, if anyone wants to drop into my channel, that 70s rock fan, I'd be very welcome.
Yeah.
And I'll have to drop out now, but thanks very much, guys, and I will see you soon.
Right on. All right, man.
All right, cheers.
Appreciate
See you,
being
brothers.
here.
Bye-bye.
I'm gonna drop you a link. So
You got it. Yeah, thanks, mate.
yeah. And there we go. There's
All right.
70s
Thank you,
channel link.
Thank you, my friend. I will
Hi,
see you
man.
guys soon. Have a good day.
Yeah, appreciate you coming by.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. Who else been here? Decepticon King, Storyman Jack, that 70s rock fan, of course. Super fan Adam Shawhan was in here for at least a minute.
Yeah.
But thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.